Well, background singers Shirley and Joe join us now. And you were just saying on the videos, there's me, there's me.
Are you a very younger version of me?
I know. My God, we look so young in that.
We do.
Tell us what you've got planned.
So we've got a show, a headline show at Shepherd's Bush Empire on the 10th of December. So we're going to be singing, so it's like an evening with the George Michael singers. Okay. We're singing songs from Faith to Symphonica. We might throw a little couple of Wham surprises in there, but we're just...
Don't mention
and we're going to be telling some really lovely stories. I mean, you don't get to work with, you know, an iconic star like that for 35 years, and you know, and just we've got so many stories to share.
Tell us. I don't expect you to spill the beans, but just tell us what. Well, you can if you like. What was he like to work with?
Oh, I mean, he was just a really kind, generous, and beyond everything else, loyal person. Because if you looked at those clips, they're what, 25 years old?
One summer,
and we were with him the whole time. Yeah. I met George at the Wham final. Oh, there's an old picture there. I met him at the Wham final, and then I worked with him all the way through to Symphonica. So that's over 30 years of being around someone, and you just, you know, you can't help but love him. He's just a really beautiful man, really.
And we heard all stories, Joe, after he passed around, like secret philanthropy, where someone would maybe send a letter about what was happening in their family, and he would very quietly give money.
Yeah, he's a very, very, very generous man, and quietly generous. Yeah, very private man, and he's very, very missed. And that's why we're doing this show. You know, we miss him terribly, and we just want to celebrate his life and just say thank you for everything that he did for us.
Have you got a favourite story you could share?
Do you know what? We're just talking about how generous he was that you just said. I remember when we ended Symphonica and we were supposed to go to Australia, but unfortunately George wasn't well enough really to do that. So they kind of had to put it on the back burner. And he was so worried about the band, the crew, and everyone that, you know, because they've all got families and they'd planned to go on this tour, and the money that they would lose. That's what he was worrying about, not his health. And we said, George, for God's sake, this is more important. Your health is more important. We'll come back to this another time. And what he did, he paid everyone.
Did he?
For the tour, and we did nothing. So that's the kind of man that his fans admire. So he's a man to be admired for sure.
Because people sort of see this fun persona, particularly in the Wham years, and then he had a lot of fun after that, didn't he? But he was obviously a big thinker, quite a serious guy.
Yeah, he was a super intelligent man, but also incredibly funny. You know, he had this very sort of naughty sense of humour that we would joke a lot. There was a lot of laughter.
I think so.
These are some of the stories that we're going to...
You can't tell those jokes.
I will be telling them at the show. Yeah, we've got lots of stories.
Is it too early to tell rude stories?
Possibly.
Depends on your rudometer, probably.
Yeah, it's a bit early, yeah. Before 12, probably not a good idea.
There was a documentary, wasn't there, a while back that came out, admittedly about Wham, but it was all about him as a youngster and his talent. But he was quite a shy boy, wasn't he?
So shy. Do you know, he was, you know, he kind of a geek when he was a kid. So he was an inward
And was he
person.
always like that as a man? Did he retain that shy?
He still had the humility of someone that's, you know, not been popular. You know, when some kids, if you're popular at school, you kind of, you know, got a little bit of, you know, a bit cocky. He wasn't like that because he didn't have any of that. So he was very insecure about the way he looked. And I mean, why would he? Because he was just the most handsome person.
I think that's why he was so loyal as well, because he liked to have his comfort blankets around him, didn't he? You know, so, yeah.
What were the songs that he enjoyed performing most? Like, if you were on stage with him, what were the songs that you most got that energy from him?
You know, he loved doing covers, which was really, like, strange because he was such a prolific writer. It's like, you've got so many great songs, but he loved covers. He loved singing Stevie Wonder. Yeah. You know, he was happy doing that. I think he preferred that to his own songs, really.
Oh, he did that duet with Mary J. Blige, didn't he? The Stevie Wonder cover.
Yeah. But he loved doing Stevie's songs. We did a whole tour, a cover-to-cover tour, and that was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I prefer his songs.
There you are.
That's us doing everything.
How much rehearsing did you have to do? Because the one thing, you go to a gig, you see it, it's amazing, it's polished, and I always wonder how much of it is just, you know, the band just do it, or how much rehearsal.
I know.
No,
We
a lot of rehearsals.
rehearsed
a lot of rehearsals.
But no matter if it was a tour or if it was one show, we would rehearse for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And George was very meticulous. Every little thing had to be right. And that's the thing that he taught us, and something that will never know unless you've spent time with George. But every bit of phrasing, timing, and that's, I think, what you get when you come to see our show, because he taught us how to do this.
Yeah,
this sound is the George Michael sound. I think he very consciously, after Wham, wanted a George Michael sound, and I think that's why he went for singers like myself and Joe and the other two, Jay and Lucy, that are doing the show with us.
A more soulful sound.
Yeah, because in Wham he did all his own backing vocals, so he did consciously go for, you know, he wanted something separate from that to be, and you know, luckily that sound is us.
Yeah, he absolutely did it. Do you have a moment, Joe, that you'll remember him by?
Yes, meeting him actually. A very old friend of mine called Brad Branson, who's sadly no longer with us. He nicked my cassette demo tape. I'm showing my age now.
That's right.
And he played my cassette tape at a photo shoot. He was taking pictures of George, and George was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "This is the girl I've been trying to talk to you about."
My
So
word.
I got a phone call from George at 4:00 in the afternoon saying, "Darling, it's George." And I was like, "George who?" And he said, "It's George Michael." I was like, "Oh, hello." And he said, bring your records, because I was DJing at the time. He said, "Can you bring your records, because I want to know, I'll come to my house." So I went to his house, and we stayed up till very, very late, just playing records to each other. He sat sitting by his record player, and he signed me to his record label the next day.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, both of you. Good luck with the show.
Thank you
so
for having
much.
us.
Yeah, I really look forward to it.
I'd love to hear your stories all night, and some people will be able to. An evening with the George Michael Singers. That is on the 10th of December at the O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Stay with us. Headline.